Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and we have the Timinator in the house, Tim Elbert from the Four Seasons Nursery, and we're here to take your phone calls today. And when you call in, your name's going in the hat for this beautiful... What is this, Tim?
This is a campanula. The variety is called mulberry rose, and it's a very nice cup-shaped flower. So it is that kind of a mulberry purple with a deep cup shape, bells that hang down. These guys will bloom all summer. They will grow in the sun or the shade. So very adaptable. They'll spread.
It's very unusual. It's pretty.
Yeah, it is a fantastic plant for a container, or you can use it in the garden either way.
Look at the underbrush. It's bushy down there. That's really something.
Yeah, very, very thick and full, very bushy plant. With the flowers popping up above the foliage like that, yeah.
All right, say it again.
Campanula.
Campanula. I don't know my flowers like he does, and I'm not supposed to.
That's okay. If you call it campanula, somebody's going to know what you're talking about. Won't be me, but somebody.
Anyway, if you want to win this campanula, here's a number: 776-5770. That's the number to the Dove Studios to get into talk to Tim. Any questions about what's going on in your yards? Plants, bugs, trees, lawns, whatever. 776-5770, and when you call in, your name goes in the hat, and you could win this beautiful flower. It is gorgeous. It's really pretty. I was hoping it had a fragrance, but it really doesn't, does it?
And really not a fragrant plant, no, but pretty cool plant anyways.
All right, 776-5770. Give us a call if you have any questions for Tim, and it's going to be a great weekend in the yard. Lots of good things. What other colors you have on plants out there?
What other colors do I have?
I mean, what colors? I say plants that are blooming, you know.
Oh, there's a lot of different things out there. A lot of the summer perennials are starting to come up and bloom now, and things like the coreopsis. It was a real kind of coreopsis or this. So I brought this one in. Maybe I'll bring a coreopsis next week. But anyways, the coreopsis have the big bright yellow flowers on them. And we've got one called Route 66. It has a reddish center in the middle of it. Very beautiful plant. There's all the cone flowers and cannas are starting to bloom right now. The butterfly bushes are just going great guns, and there's some beautiful ones out there right now. So
anyway, if you're looking for color, the Four Seasons Nursery is out on Highway 62. There you get off on Vilas Road, and you go up just a half mile. You can't miss it. It's off to the right. And you'll see all the beautiful hanging baskets. The nursery is just gorgeous, and you get some good advice. But in the meantime, if you have a question about what's going on in your yard, and you're going to head into the weekend, it's going to be beautiful weather, and you want to get your name in the hat for this plant, give us a buzz, 776-5770. Clarissa, is that right?
That is right.
Hey, what's going on with your vegetables?
I am wondering, seem to have quite a few of my leaves kind of turning a mottled yellow, not solid, but kind of a mottled pattern in quite a few different garden beds. So I was wondering if maybe it's a nutrient deficiency in the soil or something like that.
Is it the older, lower leaves, or is it the newer leaves that are coming on that are turning yellow?
You know, I guess for some of them it would be the older leaves. Like on my tomato plants, it does seem like they're mostly probably lower. Okay. My squash plant, I'd have to look at. It seemed like it was some of the newer, bigger leaves that were.
Yeah. Well, there's typically spotted yellow on the leaves is fungus related, and usually that kind of goes away with warmer, drier weather. Now, if we look back, we had a little bit of colder, wetter weather, and then we had the heat. And that could have just brought on some leaf spot type funguses. Not worth trying to worry about unless it continues to spread and get worse. But if it's on the newer growth, that's when we begin to get a little bit worried. But if it's on those older leaves, not a big issue.
Okay.
Hey, thanks, Clarissa. All right, the number is 776-5770, and Tim Elbert's in the house, the Timinator. He answers more questions than anybody that I ever had on the air before. But and the nursery is open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 on Sunday.
Yes.
Maybe I should get a job out there. Okay. Hi, Esty. What's going on?
Oh, I am glad to get through. I appreciate your program. I appreciate Tim. I've known him for years. And my question, I have three. I have earwigs. I live out in the trees, the pine trees, and I have mosquito earwigs and a critter that likes to bury stuff in my planting. And then dig them up later. How about that, Tim?
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. So mosquitoes, first of all. Yeah. Mosquitoes, now there's a lot of things. If you go on the internet, you'll find a lot of information about mosquito repelling plants. It is not true. So those mosquito repelling plants, mosquitoes won't land on them. That's what they mean.
Oh, really?
But they are not going to keep mosquitoes from landing on you unless you are putting them on you. Yeah. So first of all, you can't just plant a bunch of plants in the yard and expect them to get rid of the mosquitoes. But mosquitoes generally, there's got to be some stagnant water somewhere close by that they are breeding in, and that's why you have mosquitoes around. So it can be a small little puddle. It could be just a dish or something, a 5-gallon bucket sitting out somewhere with water in it. And but any
there's a pond down in the pines.
There you go.
So then you can contact Vector Control and they'll come out and take care of that for you. So
I saw something that showed brown sugar, warm water, and some yeast in a liter bottle. Cut it in half, dip it upside down, and that will draw them in. Have you heard anything about something like that?
I have not. However, a lot of these, the home remedy type things will work in very limited areas. If there's a breeding ground for them, you need to get rid of that. That's the most important thing. And Vector Control will use natural-based materials to help get rid of them. They'll use fish. They'll put fish in the pond to control the larvae, things like that. That is the most effective way. Okay. So for earwigs.
Earwigs.
All right. There's a few different things to get rid of earwigs. The one that I like is the Sluggo Plus, which is a granule you put down and it attracts them. They come over and they eat it, and away they go. If you have large bushes, like for instance an artichoke plant, sometimes those earwigs are staying inside the plant, and so dusting that plant with some diatomaceous earth works fantastic, and it's all natural and easy to wash off. So highly recommend that. And then the critter that is digging stuff up and burying stuff and coming back later, I think a shotgun maybe.
It's a dog.
Oh, it's a dog. Okay,
no.
In that case.
There's nothing I can put in the soil that will be a little repelling to the dog that will keep him from wanting to go in that nice soft dirt.
Sometimes cayenne pepper works well. You can try that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Great.
Okay. Thanks, Estes. All right, let's go to, let's see. Daisy, are you there? What's going on with your rhododendrons?
I have, good morning, Terry.
Yeah.
I have this beautiful rhododendron in my front yard, and it's already bloomed out. Mm-hmm. Is there a way I can make it bloom again?
Yes. Well. It takes about
10 months.
11 months. But yes, you can.
That's not what I want to hear.
Well, listen, if you can figure that out, let us know. We'll package it, and we'll all make a bunch of money with that one.
The rhododendrons are going to bloom only once a year. However, sometimes when we get a really long summer, they will, because they set those flower buds in the late summer, sometimes a long summer or a long fall, we'll actually get a few blooms coming on them in the fall. But that's just that many fewer blooms that you'll get in the spring because they won't produce new buds over the winter for spring. So, no, they're going to bloom once a year, whether you like it or not, and no more than that, and maybe less than that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you anyway.
All right. Well, to ensure that they do set some good buds, be sure that you deadhead them.
Okay, when?
Snapping off those dead flower stalks. You do that now.
Do that now. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
All right,
All right.
thanks, Daisy. Well, that's good advice. All right, let me take a quick break. We'll be right back. If you need advice about what's going on in your yard, if you're going to be working in the yard this weekend, it's going to be a great weekend to do that. Give Tim a call, 776-5770, and your name's going in the hat for this beautiful
Campanula.
Yeah.
It's like
gorgeous.
Count Dracula.
Campanula. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Welcome back, and Tim Elbert's with us today from Four Seasons Nursery, and he's kind of like the garden answer man, so if you got any questions going on in your garden, from planting to transplanting to fertilizing to pruning, whatever, he's here to take your questions. Four Seasons Nursery, you've never been out there, you're just missing it. It's just fun to go out there, and it's beautiful, and it's out on Crater Lake Highway. Just get off on Highway 62, get off on Vilas Road, go up just a little bit on the right, you can't miss it. And they're open from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 on Sunday. And as you call in today, your name's going in the hat for this beautiful plant named
Campanula.
Campanula. I should write that down. I don't have anything to write on, but Campanula, like Dracula. Yes. Campanula. Anyway, it's got these little bell things hanging down on it. And what color you call this now? There's a name for it.
It's called mulberry rose.
Mulberry
and
rose.
I guess I would say it's kind of a mauve color.
You know what's neat about this plant? I bet you it attracts hummingbirds.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see them kind of, do that.
Oh, they're flying all over the greenhouse. So these are in our front greenhouse, and these are all over them.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, 776-5770. Let's go back to the phones. Betty, you've been very patient. What's going on with your raspberry?
Morning.
Hi.
My raspberry leaves have little pinhole holes in a few of them. They're just starting to do that, and sometimes I've even had a couple berries that have a little hole in them. Is something eating them?
I don't know.
Besides me?
Bring me some berries, and we'll take a look, and I guarantee you something will be eating them.
Okay. Yes. Well, if they stay on the vine, I'll bring you a bunch.
Yes. Well, it sounds like there's probably something gnawing on them here and there. They're tiny little holes. I'm not sure I worry too much about it unless it starts to get really bad and start to affect the fruit, in which case you may have to go out there, do a little investigating to try to find what it is that's doing it. There are a couple of different little beetles that will do stuff like that. So usually they're not a big problem, but occasionally they do become an issue. So if that's the case, if they do start to become a problem, a carbaryl spray would work really well. Carbaryl is the same kind of chemical that they would use on dog and cat collars for flea and tick control. It's this very safe product, and we do carry it as a liquid spray, and you can spray that on, and it washes off very easily. So when you go to use your berries, you can just rinse them rinse them well, and it's gone. So that's why we like to use that for that. It works very good on beetles.
Okay. Okay. Also, just a few of the leaves are starting to curl and dry up. A branch will just curl and dry up.
Yeah, you might have a little bit of a cane type fungus going on there too. When those happen, just trim them off, clear to the ground, and usually that solves that problem too.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
All right,
You're
welcome.
very helpful every week.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks, Betty. All right. Let's go to Linda. Hi, Linda. And you want to know about your lemon tree being outside?
No, I want to know what to expect from it. My sister gave me a small potted Meyer lemon tree in February. It was in the house for a while, and then I took it out when the weather was getting nice to a west-facing deck. I went out as the weather began to get warmer and had hoped to see some sign of growth on it. It was doing nothing, but it had these scaly little hard things. I don't know what they were, eggs or bugs, on almost every branch. And I was pretty alarmed by it. I took it and threw it to the side of the house, hoping that my husband would take it in the next dump load. He began watering it. And even though I had, and before that, I had sprayed it like crazy with a bug killer, just in case I had, it was going to be saved. Well, he started watering it, and he came in the other day. He said, there are blossoms all over that lemon tree. So I went out and checked it. The little scaly things are hard, and I can pick them off. It must be that I killed whatever was on it. But my question is, now how do I treat it? Do I expect fruit off that tree, or what can I expect?
Well, absolutely, you can expect some fruit off of that tree. Yes, those little scaly things are called scale, and I'll let you guess why. Anyways, they are an insect, and that's their body is kind of this scaly thing, and they pull that scaly shell down and seal it up, and then they stay inside there, and that keeps them from having to be eaten by predators, etc. Insecticides will penetrate them somewhat, and so it sounds like you got the right thing and got that under control. Clean those off as best you can off of the branches and make sure that you don't have any live ones left on there. And the plant will recover very nicely from that and begin to produce leaves and flowers, as you can see. And then after the flowers, of course, will come some fruit. So yes, keep it at a nice sunny location. Keep it moist but not soggy wet, and feed it once in a while. And you should have some wonderful lemons, usually around November.
Wow, I am very surprised about that. So shall I treat the soil with anything?
No, just a little fertilizer will be all, but
And shall I spray it on a regular basis with a bug killer?
Only I only like using the insecticides if there's a problem. So I would say clean it up real good and make sure there's no problem. And if you start to have another problem, you can use an insecticide. But other than that, I try not to use them unless there's an issue.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Linda. All right, the number is 776-5770 if you have any questions for Tim Elbert, and your name's going in the hat for the beautiful plant today. And you never know, could win that. And in the meantime, get some good advice about what's happening in your yard. Lori, thanks for waiting. What's going on with your raspberries?
Well, I too have a raspberry question. Mine is on the fruit itself. Obviously a raspberry's red, but certain pieces of the red are white. There's little white things on some of the raspberries. That should be all red, the little bubbles that make the raspberries. Some of the little bubbles are white.
Right. And in those situations, that's usually caused by some sunburn. And it affects each little individual seed pod there, and so you will have it sometimes dotted, sometimes just the whole side, all one side. It doesn't really affect the rest of the fruit. You can usually just pick that part off, and the rest of the fruit is fine. So,
okay, fantastic. I wouldn't have known that a raspberry got a sunburn, so this is good news to know. All right, no bugs, just a sunburn. I like it. Yep. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, 776-5770, and get a question in, get your name in the hat for the plant. And if you have some problems with bugs or plants or things that are going on in your yard, give Tim a call, 776-5770. And excuse me, we've had some really crazy weather. It got real hot, and then it's kind of mild and everything else. But, we're in that summertime thing. What's going on in the vegetable garden?
Well, what's going on in the vegetable gardens that I have seen mostly is that the bugs are starting to come out.
Okay.
And remember we had a mild winter, and if you remember last summer, we had a lot of problems with squash beetles and spotted cucumber beetles. So the main thing, I think, is to really keep a close eye on what is going on in your vegetable garden, watching for insects and getting those under control as soon as you start to see problems. So,
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Where do all these bugs come from? I mean, if you go out there at any time, are they out? Where are they? Where do they come from? I mean, earwigs, I get that, but all of a sudden you have bugs that just go to tomato plants. You have bugs that just go to lemon trees. I mean, where do all these things come from?
Well, they, they are flying around. They're moving around. We don't see them, but they're cruising around looking for a host plant. And the reason why you don't have them until you plant your tomatoes is because you don't have anything they want. Wow. But as soon as they sense that you have those, then they're going, oh, hey, let's go to Perry's for dinner tonight. So yes, that's the issue.
Right.
And so mainly.
I'm just curious because it's interesting. These things all pop up when you have the plant,
right?
And then you have the combatant that.
Well, they're kind of like me. They follow the food.
There you go. That's a good way of putting it. All right. Anyway, 776-5770. Let's squeeze in Dan before we take a break. Hi, Dan. What's going on with your cherry tree?
I've talked to Tim before. I had fruit fly larvae really bad in there, and I sprayed them and stuff. That didn't seem to do any good. But I went to just kind of pick them off because I thought just get rid of them. I want to get rid of these stupid bugs. And the cherries themselves, they're brown and moldy, and it's just really gooey, yucky.
Yeah.
Is there something else besides the fruit fly larvae that's done that, or is that what?
Yeah, that could be something else. There's another insect that will do that, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. It actually hit my cherry tree this year, and so I'm trying to remember the name of it, but I can't think of it offhand. But when I get back to the store, I'll look it up. But yeah, they just turn that fruit to mush. And
I thought maybe we had that later rain or something, and maybe it just got all mildewy or something. But other people's cherry trees didn't seem to have that happen. So
yeah, no, it wasn't the weather. It was definitely insect related, and I believe it's a moth, if I remember correctly. And but I'm going to have to take a look and find out again. It's a fairly new issue that we haven't seen in the valley for very, very much at all until just recently. So yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
I did figure out a way to keep the birds out of the trees.
Oh yeah.
They don't like them at all.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing that happened. The birds got the top half of the tree, and the bottom half we ended up getting that moth or whatever that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I had too. Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
All right.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and if you want to get your name in the hat, give Tim a call. The number is area code 541-776-5770, and somebody's going to win this beautiful plant, and you can put it anywhere, sun or shade. It's just going to produce all these great kind of bell-shaped flowers. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, 776-5770. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back, and always a great time to have Tim Elbert in the house, better known as the Timinator War. And he heads up the Four Seasons Nursery, and if you haven't been out there, well, let me encourage you to go because it's a real treat. It's out on Highway 62 if you're going out towards like Crater Lake, and get off on Vilas Road and go up about a half mile. You can't miss the nursery off to the side there. And Tim and his family running that for how many years now?
Oh, goodness. I think...
your dad started that, huh?
Yep. I think it's been 27 years. Yeah.
Huh?
27 years.
27 years, yeah. Anyway, good things going on at the nursery. As you call in today, 541-776-5770, your name's going in the hat for this Campanula. Why am I having a hard time with that? Campanula. Campanula. It's a beautiful plant, and it kind of has like little bell blossoms on it. So kind of fun to see a hummingbird work this thing over.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the phones, and let's see here. Let's see. Jan, thanks for waiting. What's going on with your vegetable seeds?
Hi there. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just picked the last of my spinach and lettuce from my garden, and I'm going to miss it now for summer. So I was wondering if there was a heat-tolerant seed for spinach and lettuce so I could continue to enjoy that throughout the summer.
There is, and you'll find them on there. They'll say heat tolerant or long standing or slow bolting or something like that.
Okay.
However, it's not enough, not for our summer heat. So now if you've got a spot in a shady location where you can plant some in a container or something, you can do that and it'll be just fine. But keep it in a shadier spot and you'll have much better success.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you.
All righty.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Jan. All right. Again, the number is 776-5770. Get your name and hat for this Campanula, and it's beautiful. All right, hi, Vicki. You got an ash tree, huh?
Have an ash tree, and it loses its new leaves, and sometimes the whole branch will die. I don't know if it's too tender. We're at 3,000 feet.
Do you know what variety of ash that you have?
The parking lot variety.
How old is the tree?
It's probably 20 years.
Okay. 20 years old. And you're just losing limb by limb?
Yes, it will. It will. We'll notice that the leaves will die, and the little tiny branches will go to the larger branch, and next thing you know, the large branch is dead.
Okay. Yeah, so that sounds like it's a disease.
Borer?
It could be. I doubt if it's a borer, because on a tree that's been there for that long.
And it's real sparse. The leaves are real sparse now too, or the branches.
Yeah, it sounds more like it's a disease. It could be like a Pseudomonas or a verticillium or something like that. It's hard to say without seeing it, but chances are it is diseased, and that's regardless. Any of those big name diseases are very difficult to get rid of in a tree, especially that size. The options would be having an arborist come out and inject the tree, and that may or may not help, or removing the tree and starting over.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Again, the number to talk to Tim is 541-776-5770. Hi, Priscilla. What's going on with your plant that won't grow?
Yeah, it's just we have tried salvia several times. They look real nice at first, and then they just dwindle down, and I just wondered what anything special to keep them looking good? Do you trim off the blooms frequently, or how do you get salvia to look good?
Salvias are typically love lots of heat and fairly dry soil. So in most cases that I find where salvias aren't working well, it's because they're too wet. So get them in an area where they've got good drainage and they can be a little on the dry side, and you should have better success.
Okay. Do you trim off those little blooms frequently, or is that a good idea?
Yeah, it's a good idea to trim off the old bloom stalks and let the new ones come on. It just makes them bloom better. So.
Okay, thank you. That's a help.
Okay, you bet. All right, let's go to Stella. Hi, Stella. What's your question about potted plants?
My question about potted plants is some of the plants that I put in there are dying.
Well, that's because...
not all of them, just some of them.
That's because...
Now, I do have quite a bit of shade, so I'm just wondering, I sprayed them with neem oil, and they're still dying.
Yeah, their lifetime warranty ran out. There's a lot of things. What kind of flowers are they?
It's like snapdragon, stalk, oh God, what's the one that that goes over the side? Lobelia.
Okay.
It just looks like they just kind of wilt, and then they just look so ugly in there. But the fuchsias and everything are just doing fantastic in there.
Yeah. So you've got this in the shade?
Yeah, I've got quite a bit of shade.
Okay. It's probably caused by like a root rot fungus, maybe
Really?
from staying a little too wet.
Really?
Yeah, that's most likely. If you go to kind of pull on them, if there's no roots left on them, that's usually the sign that those are getting some root rot.
Okay.
You might, next time you plant, you might consider changing out your soil, using a better quality potting soil.
I used a really good potting soil. I mean, it even had the fertilizer in it, but I still gave it fertilizer,
Yeah.
So no, I used all brand new soil this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a really good one.
just watch your watering. Careful not to overdo it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the soil I got was that black gold,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Anyway.
Thanks.
Okay, so just don't overwater, huh?
Right.
Okay, well, I pulled out most of them already because they just make the fuchsias look ugly,
Yeah, let the fuchsias finish it off.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the fuchsias are just going crazy. So.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Stella.
Okay, Tim, thank you.
Before we take a break, a couple things. After the break, I want you to talk about GMOs because it's still on the minds of a lot of people, and how do we look at that? But you had an incident about a customer in a vegetable garden. What happened?
Oh, yes. So a customer picked up the wrong spray from another location, not us, thank God. But picked up the wrong spray to use for her vegetable garden. So I just kind of wanted to remind people to watch really carefully when you're putting sprays on your vegetable gardens. Do not use anything that is a systemic. The systemics travel, the way they work is they go up through the root system and go into the plant, and the plant stores it in the tissue. Then when an insect attacks, the insect gets that chemical and dies. The thing is, because the plant is storing it, the plant is storing that chemical in the same kinds of tissues that you are feeding on, you're eating. So this person had put systemic on her vegetable garden, on her potatoes, on her beets, on her basil, and it's 30 days is how long it stays in the soil. There's no way to get it out of the soil. So her entire crop of her vegetable garden, she had to throw away. And she said it was her best crop ever in her vegetable garden. So it was very, very disappointing for her. And so very, very important. And a lot of these, the
plant could take it, or does it kill the plant too?
No, it doesn't kill the plant.
All right, but it's not good for you.
If you start to eat it, you're eating that chemical.
Yeah.
So you just have to throw it away. And unfortunately, these systemics were right next to the bottle of garden spray, and so when she went to pick one up, she just grabbed the wrong one and didn't realize it when she was mixing and spraying, and then she kind of had a funny feeling about it, went back and looked at the bottle and went, oh no, what do I do now? And so just a reminder for everybody, be very careful. Yeah.
All right, if you have any questions for Tim, 541-776-5770. When we come back, I want Tim to kind of educate us on the whole GMO issue. Are you dealing with it at the nursery at all?
Well, not necessarily, no. But we'll talk a little bit about GMOs, what they are, and how you can be sure you're not getting GMOs.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Daniel and I work at theDove TV. Compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market, but at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back, and if you have any questions for Tim, we got one more opportunity to get your name in a
Campanula.
hat for this Campanula Campanula.
Yes.
Campanula. Anyway, it's beautiful. And you can plant it anywhere. Sunshine, shade, should do well. Keep it in a pot, put it in the ground, and sing to it, and it should do just fine. Anyway, the number here is 776-5770. And if you've never been to the Four Seasons Nursery, let me encourage you to go on out there. It's on Highway 62. And going out to Crater Lake, and then get off on Violet Road and go up about a half mile, and you can't miss it. All right, GMOs. A lot of misinformation about GMOs. How do you explain it?
Well, GMO is the letters GMO stand for genetically modified organism, and it is an organism that has been changed by altering the DNA of the plant. Now we have, we can take two different plants and cross-pollinate them and get another variety. And that's doing the same thing. You're changing the genetics of the plant and you're coming up with another variety. But it's a very natural way of doing it. Where the big scare comes in and where we have problems is when you take two things that you can't normally cross and begin to alter the DNA and come up with something. For instance, crossing a plant with a bacteria or an insect in order to get a plant to be insect resistant or something like that. And that's the unnatural part of genetic modifications. And that's where the scary thing is God never intended for an insect and a plant to cross. And so that's where we come into all that issue.
And then when that's done commercially, then there's the issue of cross-pollination between those who do it and those who don't.
Right.
But in nursery settings, you don't have it, right?
Right. In a setting, we get a lot of questions. People will come in and ask us, are any of your vegetable starts GMO? And the answer is no. I mean, never. I don't think ever will we ever have genetically modified plants even available to us if we wanted them. These types of plants are very, very regulated. They're patented. They are held very strongly by the people who own them, and only allowed to be grown in certain areas in certain ways. There's a lot of money tied up in all of this, and so that's the reason why. Most of the plants that we see out there are genetically modified so that they cannot or they will not die if they're sprayed with glyphosate, which is we know it as Roundup, and the company that has developed this, Monsanto, they're the ones who own that herbicide, and so they're the ones that have done most of this genetic modification, and so they're the bad guys in all of this.
So, but it's primarily for a commercial setting, right?
But yes, it's commercial, definitely commercial.
Is there also part of that argument that the GMO plant being modified, you've modified the DNA of the plant, that part of the motivation is not only to repel an insect or to take a spray, but is it true that they grow faster and the yield is higher on some of those? There
are claims that is what they're doing. However, they're unsubstantiated as of yet.
Okay.
So far we don't know that those are those are creating a higher yield, more corn per ear or something like that.
Because the argument I had was that I've had some people get in my face about it because they're saying, hey, these are perfect for third world countries to go in there and for missionaries to take them in because they can grow this tomato plant faster with bigger tomatoes or more tomatoes. And from what I'm very limited to it, but I haven't seen any proof of that.
Yeah, and so far it is unsubstantiated. That what it does is it creates an easier way to grow the material.
Yeah.
So I can grow corn or wheat much easier because I can go and spray my whole field and kill everything off except for the crop that I'm trying to grow. And therefore, when I harvest, I have much more. It's much more cost-effective to do, etc.
Okay.
And in that way, for third world countries, that might be a better thing. But I think we still have to think about, what are the long-term health effects, and those kinds of things as well. So, as of yet, I don't know if it's a great thing. it is here and it is here to stay. And about 80% of your processed foods have genetically modified something in them.
Yeah,
so that's the...
I don't want to go political here, but I'm really concerned about the quality of the food supply and the increase of cancer. And I don't know if there's a link, but there appears to be. So
yeah, so far, again, it's unsubstantiated, but there are claims that there are health effects, and I think that with those claims comes the responsibility to look into those.
Yeah, to refute
so I think
them too.
it's important for us to look into that. But how do I know that I'm not getting genetically modified whatevers? The answer is eating whole foods and growing your own, eating whole foods, eating local, growing and buying local.
Produce and everything.
Yeah, and you're in good shape.
Okay.
And staying away from those high processed foods.
All right, let's get back to the phones. Jay, thanks for waiting. What's your question for Tim today? Jay?
I'm Joy.
Oh, Joy, I'm sorry. Okay. What's your question today? Hi.
Good morning. My question is, does Tim know anything besides a fence to keep deer from eating my flowers?
Anything other than a fence?
Yes.
Yes. Actually, there's a great product put out by a company called Plant Skid. And they are out of Sweden, I believe. And it's a new line that we started carrying last year, and is very effective. Comes as a spray or a granular. I believe we're out of the granular, but I've got it on order. Should be in any day. But fantastic product. Works very, very good. There's also, a shotgun.
Yeah.
3-06.
So do you put this, the granular, the spray, do you put it on the plant or around? I mean, where do you
the
put
granule you can put around the plant.
Okay,
the spray you spray on the plant.
And it won't affect the plant, huh?
No, and it's all natural.
Okay.
It's very good. It uses a blood scent that scares the deer. So when they come close, they smell that and they think there's a predator nearby, and so they run away.
Okay.
And it was called Plant what?
Plant Skid, and it's SKYDD.
Oh, SKYDD.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's one of those foreign words. So, but you can look it up on the net. Just look up Plant Skid, all one word, and you'll find out about it. It's a great product.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Joy. Okay. Hi, Peggy. What's going on with your avocados?
Hi. Well, I have several avocado plants. I think I'm delaying here.
Yeah, you
Hold on just a minute.
Yeah, turn your radio down. Just talk to us on the phone.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I have several avocado plants, and I just wanted to know if they ever do produce here in Oregon. I mean, would they ever, just by putting them out in the spring and maybe the cool, not too hot a sun in the summer?
Sure. Yes, you can get them to produce. It can take them quite a while from a seed, many years before they begin to start to produce. They have to reach that age of maturity first. But yes, they will. And I've never seen one actually producing here in Oregon, so that would be a great thing, but nothing says that you can't. They're quite a large tree, so you got to give them plenty of room, and you got to be able to bring them in when the temperatures drop below 40 degrees.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my oldest one I think I've got is 3 or 4 years old. I can't remember exactly how long I've had that one. It's pretty good. It's like 3 foot tall.
Okay.
But the other ones are just new. So.
Yeah. I expect it can take up to 10. I think, if I remember correctly, it's about 10 years.
Oh, well, anyway, they're a beautiful plant. I like them.
All right, thanks, Peggy.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, hi. Whoops, let me see here. If we can get Nancy on. There's Nancy. Hi, Nancy. What's going on with your artichokes?
Hi, guys. Last year I planted 2 artichoke plants in 2 raised beds, and one of them bloomed like crazy and produced a whole mass of artichokes, and the other one didn't do a thing. Now, this year, the one that didn't do a thing hasn't, or it's got masses. It's grown to like 4 feet tall, and it's got huge artichokes on it. And they're kind of weird, though. They're kind of squarish looking, and then they kind of roundish square. I don't know how to describe it. and then, strange. And the other one is real small and is just starting to get some artichokes. But I'm wondering, what's the best kind of artichoke to grow that is, meaty and not, I don't know, more round or something?
Well, that's a good question.
Safeway.
Yeah. There's
Albertsons.
There's a lot of different varieties of artichokes, and I'm trying to think of the one that is most common. And it's a good one. It's Green Globe is what it's called.
Green Globe.
Green Globe. Yeah. And
so do they alternate the when they produce the fruit? 1 year good, 1 year not.
That is not uncommon. So it doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
And how do you know when to pick them?
Well, you want to catch them before those scales begin to open up. So watch it as soon as those scales start to open a little bit. That's your best timing for harvest. You don't want them to actually open and flower because then they won't be any good.
Yeah, then you better put them someplace else, like on a wreath, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
all right, you're welcome.
All right, let's see if we can squeeze in Janet before we run out of time. Hi, Janet. What's going on with your pansies?
Hang on just a minute. Okay, my pansies are in a pot, and I think I may have overwatered them because they're just not doing very well, so I'm trying to let a few days go by. I was just wondering if they could have developed rot of some kind.
Well, I'm sure they could have. However, probably what the biggest issue is the heat. They don't like this kind of heat, and they're going to start to crash because of the heat. So pansies are a cool season. We put them in the fall, enjoy them through winter and spring, and then yank them out for summer and put in something else.
Okay, actually, they're not pansies. They're daisies. The white daisies.
Well, now you tell me. So like the African daisy? Or is it more like a Shasta daisy?
Yeah.
Shasta. So Shasta daisies are perennials, easy to overwater. Yep.
Okay.
So if that's the case, hold off and see if they pull themselves out of it.
Well, and I thought I better tip the pot over. It's a plastic pot I got from Home Depot, but there were no holes in the bottom, so I just put some holes in there because I thought if it can't drain right, it's not going to work very well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely get those to drain, and they're pretty good at recovering. But if it doesn't recover very quickly, yank it out of the pot, wash the soil off of the root system, repot it. You may have to trim it back when you do that to avoid it from going into shock. But if you get too much of that root rot, it won't recover.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Janet. All right. We'll see who's going to win this campanula.
All right.
And it is a beautiful kind of a rosy something color. And you can plant it anywhere. Is that about as big as it's going to get?
That's about the tallest it'll get. Yeah, about a foot tall.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see who the winner is. Four Seasons Nursery out on Crater Lake Highway. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 on Sunday. And the winner is? Let me see.
Can you read that?
Oh, Esty. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Congratulations, and we'll get a hold of you, and you can get out to the nursery and get a copy, pick that up. And let's see here. Anything else we should know in 30 seconds?
Enjoy the sunshine, drink lots of water, and garden all day long.
Well, that's great. All right. Again, check out Four Seasons Nursery. It really is pretty, and if you're looking for some color and trees and
fresh load of baskets coming in today.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ooh,
out of the greenhouses today.
All right, there you go. First come, first serve on those big, beautiful hanging baskets. Check it out. And the cherries are just about ripe. They're just about there. All right, thanks, Tim. We'll see you next time on Focus Today.
Hi, I'm Jim and I work at theDove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, theDove.us.